All right, all right, all right, all right. What is going on? What's up, everybody? Hey, listen, hey, welcome, 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 welcome. Listen, I have something special for you tonight. Hey, like I told you, I will bring different people to the platform to bring you informations that you probably didn't have before or to give you more detail in some stuff that we are doing now. Again, tonight or Thursday night show is going to be bilingual, so if you watching on my Johnny E channel, welcome. And if you're watching on the Ouvri Barrier channel, hey, merci pascola. Okay, so tonight we're going to talk about unlocking your creativity. I had a very, very good conversation with a friend of mine, which is Eden Liu from Camo, and we were talking about the importance, right, for businesses to have um content or to create content, okay, and also at the same time for you as a consumer too, you can create content and participate in this wonderful world of content creation. And from there we discuss different aspects, and we talk about an app, right? We talk about a very special app that you can use, okay, to create your content. And that app will use your cell phone as a camera where you don't need a special camera, okay? And then on top of that, you can have access to that app on your tablet or iPad to have a full studio. All right, a complete studio. Oh my goodness. Let me say hello to a couple people. Hey, Kiara, thank you for being here. Harden Pierre, thank you. Thank you for being here. Alan, thank you. Thank you. Hey, Messi Alan, Messi Pascola, Messi Ampil. So I think that's a wonderful thing, right? So especially for those of you who's in my community, when I talk to you guys about a different opportunities, different thing you can use to create your content. May you be a business owner, may you be just somebody just looking for options to help you develop the idea, to help you put your project or your content in front of the world. You always give me a lot of excuses. So this time, uh, I'm going to show you an app that you can use in your cell phone where he transform your cell phone to a camera, technically. Right? Use the camera on your cell phone, but that camera is using in your cell phone. There is so much stuff you can do. You can add colors, you can add background, you can add green screen. You can do a lot of stuff with it. So I think it's very important for you to know this type of things. So I'm not gonna keep you here. I want you to watch the interview, and then when you finish watching the interview, I'm over here. If you have questions, ask question under the interview, and I'll be happy to answer those questions for you. Okay. So again, I think it's a wonderful opportunity for many of you guys. So I'm not gonna take too much of your time. Let's watch the interview, and I'm in the chat to answer your questions after. Okay, so ask your question. I will mark your questions, and then I will answer them for you after. Here we go. Eden, good evening. How you doing?
Hi, Johnny. Thank you so much for having me on the show. I'm so excited to finally get to collaborate with you.
I know. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here this afternoon and to talk to us about, creating content and to help us unlock our potential. And as you sometimes you jump to the Creole channel when I'm doing those Creole shows, and and I was talking about Camo, I think last year. And we had a great
Yeah.
conversation. Yeah, we was talking about Camo last year. I did a demo in the Creole channel. A lot of the people in my community really loved it, right? But that's for the second aspect of the show. We're gonna talk about that. But right now, the biggest question I'm getting, especially from business owners, they're asking me, okay, why should they create content? So
Million
I'm
dollar
asking you the same
question.
question, $1 million question. Why should they create content?
Businesses need to be creating content because you have to think about where consumers are. Where are
Hmm.
they? They're on their phones all the
Yep.
time, all
Yep.
day, every single day. I feel like I get anxiety if I don't have my phone, if I'm not touching my phone at least once an hour. So businesses need to think about the fact that consumers are on their phones all the time. And what are they doing on their phones? They're looking at content all the
Hmm.
time. So if you want to get in front of your consumers, where should you meet them? In the content on their phones. That's
Hmm.
why all businesses should be creating content to share with their potential audiences and existing audiences.
Hmm. Now, what about those of us who's just regular folks and who was consuming content, but was a little bit afraid to just jump in and start creating content? So, what kind of advice can you give those individuals?
So, for people that are interested in creating content but aren't really sure where to start, like I feel like I have a lot of friends like this. They're like, "Oh, I want to start a podcast or I would love to be able to create videos the way you do," when they're talking
Hmm.
to me. And I always say, "Why don't you do it?"
Hmm.
There's never a good response. There's never a solid answer for why someone actually doesn't do it. Everyone starts with zero viewers, zero audience, which I think is the biggest blocker. People are scared that their content is going to go out there, they're going to publish it, and it's going to get no views. Guess what? That's where everyone starts. You just have to get over that. And I really feel like for people that are starting out, unless you're someone who is absolutely sure
Hmm.
what you want to create content about, like you know what your mission is already. But a lot of us actually don't know what we want to create content about. A lot of us just think of content creation as something that we might be good at or something that we want to do but aren't sure where to start. And for those people, I would say to just create content about anything, stuff that you love, stuff that you're knowledgeable about, to build up confidence in delivering topics on video or on podcasts. And the more you do it, the more comfortable you get with presenting your points. And from there, I feel like that's where it makes sense to sort of hone in on what are you most comfortable talking about when you are recording yourself on video, whether that's into a camera set up on your computer or just into your smartphone camera. And as you build up more reps in talking about different things, I really recommend for people to try just talking about anything they're interested in, whether it's educational fiction or nonfiction, and to just see what you find that you naturally start to feel like, oh, I'm excited to share this on camera, even if you're not, even if you don't have an audience yet. That's, I feel like, something that can help people who are just getting started really think about what they're comfortable talking about, and how does that how does that translate to actual videos or audio contents that they're creating.
Hmm. That brings me to the point that you didn't start just creating content. So, can you give us a little bit background for yourself? How did you end up in this world of creating content pretty much every day, multiple times a day now?
Yeah, I honestly never thought I was going to be a content creator. I never thought of myself as someone in front of the mic or in front of the camera. I thought of myself as a behind the scenes person. But, 2020 happened and everyone needed to learn how to get comfortable on video, including me. So at that time, I was doing audio only podcasts.
Hmm.
And there is sort of a safety net that comes with only being on audio. People can't recognize your face. You don't really have, even if you say your name on a podcast, like when it's just audio, I feel like there doesn't seem to be as strong of a connection. Like it doesn't feel like you are publishing something visual that people can like see. Cause I feel like a lot of the times we get embarrassed about how we look. Like, and if we say something silly, it's easier to get over than if there is a photo or a video of us that lasts forever of us looking silly. And so that's something I had to learn in 2020 when I needed to pivot a little bit from podcasting and get a more meaningful job. And that's how I landed at Camo. They were looking for someone that was comfortable talking to people, comfortable delivering like messages. What I mean by messages is they were looking for someone that can like deliver product updates
Hmm.
and in video form, talking to people about the product. And so I really kind of just fell into it. I'll be perfectly honest with you. I had no idea what I was doing the first 3 months on the job. It took me a while to figure out sort of how I wanted to continue, how I wanted to present myself on camera. Like while I knew I was going to be doing video content while I was hired, I wasn't really given a structure for what to create. I was sort of given the the flexibility to come up with something on my own. And so I'm really blessed to have the opportunity because it allowed me to sort of use my own creativity, but have a topic ready for me that I was going to be delivering to people. So I didn't have to think about I didn't have to come up with content topics. I just had to figure out how to deliver a message to the audience. And so from there, I just started to try a bunch of different things, from taking product videos mixed with like talking about the product. And the more I talk to people like you or other people in our network about the product or about like video, it just sort of started to come together. And live streaming, Leap into Live was the first public appearance that I did
Hmm.
when I got hired at Camo. I was 3 months into the job and I was so nervous. But from there, and what I learned at that Leap into Live is just like how powerful live streaming can be. And from there, live streaming has really been my main focus. And it's my favorite part of the job. Like, I do a lot of like edited product videos that show off the UI and our updates, but I like live streaming the most. And I love talking to people. So
I appreciate that. I appreciate you share this story because our stories sometimes inspired other people to take action. And that's why I love when I have guests who's willing to share the story. That way the audience can know that we all start from somewhere. Okay, we all start from somewhere. You don't need to be afraid. You can step out and start creating things and you're gonna go make mistakes. Matter of fact, it feels like lately people appreciate the mistakes more than than the perfection,
a
because
hundred percent.
at
Yeah.
least they see you human. They see that you're gonna fumble, you're gonna figure things out, and that human connection. I think that's what most people is trying to figure out, and that's what has attracted more people, your audience towards you. Now, another big key in creating content sometimes, Eden, is the technical aspect. A lot of us are not savvy enough to use the equipment that we see other people are using. For example, when you see a studio, you might be a little bit intimidated, thinking, "Well, do I need a big studio like this to be able to create some content too?" So, can you talk to us? What is the basic step someone can take as far as equipment's concerned, just to start creating some content?
Well, we all have really amazing cameras in our hands every single day because Apple, Samsung, Google, they put billions and billions of dollars into R&D so that we're able to have amazing, powerful devices in our hands. And I really do recommend for people to start there. You don't need to have a fancy Sony camera setup, which I do have now, but I will also be perfectly honest with you. When I switched from using my phone camera for my main camera to using a Sony, honestly, nobody noticed. Nobody was like, oh my gosh, your video looks so much better. When I was using my phone, everyone was just like, oh, it looks like you changed some stuff in your background. And I did change some stuff in my background too.
Mhm.
And so I would really start with the phone. Like my first video contents that I created were actually yoga videos. They were videos that I just did for fun, sort of at the beginning of the pandemic where I wasn't, we were all really bored. We had a lot of
I
time.
know.
We had a lot of time on our hands. And the yoga community is an online community that I am active in. And there's a lot of yoga challenges that happen. And I was someone that, like I said, I never thought I was going to be on video, but these challenges, you could win really cool stuff like yoga mats or clothes. And so I was like, well, I want to participate. And that is actually what pushed me to get in front of the camera is to do those yoga challenges. And I was really bored also during the pandemic. But doing the little videos when doing the little yoga videos during that time period, which I was probably pretty actively participating in creating yoga videos just on my phone only, no computer, no, like all mobile editing only, using iMovie also. This was before CapCut existed.
Hmm.
So just the super basic functions that honestly, YouTube is out there. If you don't know how to do something, especially if it is phone related things are really easy to find educational resources like for how to do something on your phone on YouTube. And that's actually where I got a lot of my training. I say training, and I really just mean
From
I,
YouTube
I did a lot of
University.
YouTube University. I did a lot of Googling. I did a lot of testing. I had a lot of videos that did not come out framed well or did not come out really edited the way I wanted it to, but I just tried a lot of things. I looked up a lot of things. And 3 to 4 years later, my videos look a lot better. And I had to start somewhere, just like you said. And
Mhm.
it just, you have to, you might think that creating content and technology seems very intimidating, and it can be if you want to make it that way. But there are so many free online resources out there these days that I really feel like there's no excuse. Like, I really feel like there's no excuse. Like, I'm not
Exactly.
Doc. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not
Mr.
Mr.
Camera
like
Junkie.
tough love. Yeah, I'm not like that. But I'm like, yo, honestly, if I could learn how to change a car tire from watching YouTube, you can figure out how to use your phone to shoot a video.
Yeah,
Like,
I like the way you put this. Sometimes we are focused on creating like major production, right? Major production. But when it's not necessary, when I sit down
yeah,
and take time to create the content, have all kind of editing stuff and stuff, put it out, yes, a group of people might like it. But when I just grab my phone and create something really quick and say, this is how you do this, the majority of the people embraced it because they can relate. And this is
yeah,
the reason why, like on my show, this is why I talk to people like you, because when people have those type of products, sometimes people in my community don't know those products existed. So here I am trying to make this big old production, and all they want to know, okay, how do you use this? Okay, what is the first step? Where do you start? How you turn it on? How you log in? How do I get my camera? How do I get my video showing up? And all of the big stuff we're talking about, like we're seeing on TV, uh, most people don't really care about that. And I think that's the portion that make a lot of us a little bit scared to start. But I appreciate the way you say, hey, go to YouTube University. You're gonna find everything you need out there.
yeah. And I love the point that you made about, like, people think about content creation as very, I think the instant thought is that it has to be super high level and super produced, but it actually doesn't have to be. Like, just talking, recording yourself talking into your selfie camera, if you're talking about something meaningful, or even if you're just ranting about something that
Mhm.
people can relate to, that's also creating content. Like, you, not every piece of content has to be massively edited with jump cuts, with cool transitions, and or even with text. Like, it really can just be a talking head video, and it's okay to start there. It's okay to start with just a logo at the bottom of your screen. It's okay to just start with like a little bit of text, your name and title, before you get to the point where, like what we're doing now, like a whole conversation, and you have like name tags and like
Mhm.
animated scroller at the bottom. Like, you build up to that. Start with the baby steps. Like, Steph Curry didn't learn how to shoot from half court. He didn't roll out of bed and start shooting from half court. He started
Exactly.
he started with the mid range. He started with the mid range. He started with free throws, and then he worked his way to the 3 point line and beyond. Like, it's not overnight. Like, you have. I really like to think about content creation from a sports perspective, because I've been an athlete my whole life,
Hmm.
and you think about how, like, I grew up figure skating, I grew up playing basketball, skill sports. Like, you try once, you try twice, you keep trying, and you review the tape, and then you keep trying, changing and making adjustments until you get the result that you want. And I like to use the sports analogy because everyone can understand it on some level, even if they don't really play sports. You know that if you do the same motion 10 times, you build up muscle memory for it. You gain confidence in that action. So content creation is the same way. Like, the more content you create, the more used to it you get, the easier it gets, and the more confident your content looks to other people.
Exactly. I like that we took that subject and make it in two aspects. Those of you who wants to create content and the importance of those of you who have businesses who wants to create content. Because nowadays, if you're not creating things for your business, if you're not letting the people know you what your business is about, it's going to be very difficult for you to break through. Now, you're still going to have some sales, you're still going to have people purchase your stuff, but compared to somebody who's creating something and who's putting things out and trying the best to relate to other people, and your customers going to know who you are, what you're about, then that's what you're probably going to start seeing your business changing. Now, the big portion is the equipment, and this is what I like, Camo, Eden, like your app. I'm calling it your app. Okay, I'll let you give the backstories about Camo in a minute. Your app making it so easy for somebody who have their phone in their hands and want to create maybe a little mini production, or maybe just use it as a camera, or do something simple to get your stuff that you want to put out. Like a lot of times when we see those big stuff, we see green screen, we see images on the screen, we're seeing those overlays, and we're seeing those animated overlays. We think we have to go and create this magic from somewhere. Not, but I like the way Camo make it simple. Now, what I discover is that not only your app is not only available mobilely on phones now, you also have it on the iPad.
Yeah, so our iPad product is a little bit different than our desktop computer product
Mm-hmm.
because our iPad app is actually a streaming studio where you can actually stream straight from Camo
Mm-hmm.
Studio for iPad. You can build scenes within it. It's really more of a mobile streaming studio. But the original Camo app is the one that allows you to use your phone as your webcam or main camera, and you can make image adjustments to fine tune your image to get your colors and your view tightened in and dialed in as fine tuned as possible. And we also have really cool features for like background replacement, background blur, auto tracking for face. Like if you move around a lot, it'll track your face. And we have just so many different features that can help you get the best video with your phone camera or any camera you can connect to your computer. So it's a really great tool for people, like you said, that are sort of intimidated by the
Mm-hmm.
tech, because our whole one of our like values is that like it just works. It's very straightforward. We try not to overcomplicate things, and we've gotten a lot of really good feedback from our users about everything being really straightforward and there not needing to be like that many steps to get it up and running. Like one of my favorite reviews that we get in the
Mm-hmm.
App Store is like, my webcam broke. I randomly found your app and it was up and running within like 10 minutes, less than 10 minutes. My interview was in 10 minutes. I got it up and running with like 2 minutes to spare. And we're just like, yeah, this is what we're here for. Um, so, yeah, I'm happy to do a little screen share to
Yes,
show what Camo can do.
I have an interesting story. When I use Camo, I had a gig with in a ceremony when I show up with my camera, and I realized that I left my second camera, so I needed a different angle. So thank
Oh,
God I had my phone with me, and camera was on my phone. I actually used my phone as the other angle using Camo.
yes.
And no, until this day, when we finish, I'll show you the I'll show you the video. You couldn't even tell that I was using my phone. That's how great it is. So please do show us a little bit what Camo can do on the phone. And if you have some times, I would love to hear the part for the iPad, because I have a lot of friends of mine who have studios, and they always asking question about, okay, what kind of stuff you use. And the fact that you mentioned the iPad, I would love to see a little bit demonstration of the iPad, because some of them go to different gigs at different festival, and it's kind of difficult to carry a laptop with you. But
Yeah.
if you have your camera, and then now especially if you have a 360 camera, and if you can do something with it with your iPad, I think it'll be great. So let's go to the demonstration.
All right, so this is the Camo Studio interface. So I have, I have a, I'm using an iPhone camera right now
Mm-hmm.
that I have into Camo, and I tried to get it lined up as close to my actual camera as possible to show that like it actually looks pretty similar to what you guys were seeing before.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, it's just gonna
Yeah,
be a
if you
little
didn't mention
tilted.
that, I would
Yeah.
not even realize that.
Yeah, a lot of people
It's,
honestly like they don't they like I'm dead serious. People did not notice when I upgraded cameras. But for some of the features that I want to show off is our background effects. So right now you can see crispy, clear text. The skateboard says Supreme, easy to
mm-hmm.
read back behind me. But if you add a little bit of background blur to it and dial it down, it looks supernatural, like not supernatural like ghosts, but which I know you love,
Yeah,
Johnny.
I know, right?
Um,
My ghost stories. Yeah.
but I mean, it looks very natural. Like it doesn't look like an artificial background blur at all. That's probably our top. most popular feature is people love our portrait mode and the fact that it's adjustable. So if I turn it all the way up, it does look a little bit more obvious
Mhm.
now. But I'm just showing you the slider and to show that it actually, you can adjust it, and when you have it dialed in, especially according to the space that you're in, it can look really, really professional. And we also have this spotlight feature, which is really cool because everyone has issues with lighting. I'm going to turn it all the way up just to make it a little bit more obvious.
Mhm.
But when it's on, it brightens up your face while darkening everything else behind you a little bit. So if I turn it off, you'll see that it still looks fine, but with it on, I'm just like, the speaker is just become, it's like a highlighter. I like to call it highlighter. It's like the speaker becomes highlighted and it's like, look at me, I'm right here. And I feel like it really helps just keep you looking like you in the center of attention when you're talking. So everything on the left or right side, sorry, I left and right I struggle with. But on the right side of the control panel are your image enhancements that I just went through a little bit, and your image adjustments. So this is where you can fine tune your image. Um, you can add a LUT if you want, which I'm actually, it's not showing the filter gallery, which is
Mhm.
fine because it's a different window. But you can add LUTs to customize your color and adjust it to be exactly how you want. And then we have AR features if you're using your phone. So you can do emoji face or emoji hands, whereas this one's really popular for like Zoom meetings. It's like a very, it's like a lot more
Yeah.
obvious way to like raise your hand or like give a thumbs up. Um, and then like a really subtle beauty filter that just like smooths out the skin a little bit. I know you probably can't tell because it's very, very subtle, but it has saved my life many times on Monday mornings when, I was looking a little rough. Um, so yeah, the AR filters are available for all of our friends that are using their phone as their camera. Um, and then from there, I actually mostly keep everything on auto because the phone does such a good job in calibrating colors, but you can fine tune, you can make yourself a little bit warmer or cooler, sometimes depending on the lighting. I like to adjust the white balance a little bit. You can change the color, the hue, the tint, and just like really get it to how you want it to look. I do also like to sometimes boost the saturation just a little bit. Sometimes it helps make the colored lights pop a little bit more, or vibrance, which is designed to sort of like make people look better in colors. I will also admit, I think it struggles a little bit with my particular skin tone because I am a little bit not I there's a little bit of yellowness in my skin tone that I think it struggles with a little bit, but a lot of people get really great results from it. I also like to boost the contrast a little bit sometimes, depending on my scene, but I like to just be really subtle because sometimes I think like boosting the contrast and
Mhm.
saturation a little bit gives my hair like a really dark, rich color that I really like, just
Mhm.
depending on the rest of my settings and what I want to look like. But those are your image enhancements, which is a lot of fun in helping you get your video look exactly how you want. But that's not all. So you might have noticed this little camo watermark that's here. Camo, this is probably one of the most like exciting features, especially for people that have their own businesses, like you mentioned before,
Yeah.
because you can easily add your logo or some text. Um, like we also have like these templates that you can change your name, you can add an email address, your social handles, and the best part is that you can edit them right within Camo Studio, where you can make changes, you can add colors, images, text, or just update the text and logos or colors that are already existing in the template. So you don't need to use an external photo editor such as Photoshop or Canva. You can do it all right within Camo. This has been a really like clutch feature.
Hmm.
I'm gonna just show off a couple of different ones that we have. for people that do a lot of that do content creation for business. Actually,
Yeah.
that's probably like the main one, is that they love being able to put their information on the screen, even if they're not necessarily creating content when they hop on a Zoom call, because Camo also works as a virtual camera that you can select in Zoom or Teams or any other video conferencing software. When you
Hmm.
hop on a call with a potential client and you have like this overlay with your name, your social handles, your email address, your location, it just gives off a very professional vibe
Hmm.
and makes your information really easy for the customers to find. Um, it yeah, like the Camo one is very subtle, which I really like. It doesn't need to you don't need to have all of that if you don't want to. You can just start with a name, a logo, just like a little bit of branding colors. But those are very like the overlay editor is one of our top features that we get a lot of positive feedback for. Because Johnny, I know you're using Ecamm, and
Yes, I
Ecamm
do.
has a lot of very awesome features, but like I also know that a lot of people get overwhelmed with the number of features that are available in
Hmm.
Ecamm. It's almost like they don't know where to start. And like Camo keeps things like very, very basic. We might want to confuse you guys in the future, but not yet. So right now, it's all pretty straightforward.
Yeah, and if you are using Ecamm, you can. I use both. Like I told you, I had a gig and I was using Ecamm, but I needed a second camera, so I would have to go to the headache because I didn't want my iPhone stuff to show up, and I had to set up continuing camera. It was too much of a headache. I just used Camo, and it was perfect. Yeah, it was perfect. So I use both together.
And I really love what you said about using it as a secondary camera, because I love recommending Camo for people, even if you are a content creator and you already have like a Sony or a Nikon or a Panasonic or Canon for your main camera. We all need another camera angle at some point. We would all love an additional camera angle. And another cool thing about Camo is, I will show you guys up
Hmm.
here, is that you can pair a device wirelessly. So you just download the Camo app onto your phone and you scan the QR code and it pairs wirelessly. And that means one less cable. One less
Yes.
cable you have to worry about, and a lot more flexibility. So like this is the phone that I'm using. It's wireless. Like if I wanted to show something under my desk, or well, I'll just show you guys some
Hmm.
wires, because we all we all love cable
I
organization
know, right?
here. Yeah. So, but yeah, like I wouldn't be able to do this. I wouldn't be able to show you guys my nest of camera of my hubs and capture cards if I wasn't using like. Oh, sorry, I just realized I'm not
Hmm.
talking into the mic anymore.
There we go.
Um, but yeah, like the wirelessness gives you a lot more flexibility in where in like camera angles you're able to show off. Like I'm all the way on the like underside of my desk.
Hmm.
There's another keyboard. My Nintendo Switch is there. All right, and I'm gonna
Yeah,
bring you
it gives you a
guys.
good amount of distance because I use it wirelessly in the room, and it was
Yeah,
fine. It was fine.
yeah,
I
and
don't know
Mary Lou
exactly.
uses it. Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know exactly. I don't know exactly per se what is the distance when you use it wireless, but I was in a big room, and I use it wirelessly as a second camera. Again, if
yeah,
I had to plug into my phone to bring the cable, so I just like you showed the QR code. I used the QR code, and I went all the way in the back of the room and set it up as my second camera because I wanted the view to come in from the front, and but I wanted to be able to show every now and then the back of the audience, of the back of the people who was inside the room, and it works perfect, and it was a big room, so yeah, so.
yeah. For the distance, I would say like it really is just how your router network
Mhm.
distance, because it does rely on the Wi-Fi network provided by your router. So as long as you're within range of your router, you should be able to get a signal. I know Mary Lou, who's actually
Oh,
she's going to be
perfect.
live on her channel later at 5
Hmm.
p.m. Eastern time, I think today. She's once chased her cats around her house with Camo wirelessly before, and I was like, yo, that's so cool.
Yeah, I
I
didn't
did,
know
I
that.
didn't even know you could. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Maybe that's why it works perfectly because I tapped into the Wi-Fi where I was at. I was in the Wi-Fi, so
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, will I be able to get the second shot that far away? And it worked like perfect. It didn't give me no issue whatsoever. So now I know why because then the Wi-Fi was connected to both of
Yeah.
it. So okay, that's pretty good. So now let's go back to the demo really quick. Um, there's a part they can also add a little bit of overlay, right? Like if they
Yes.
have their own branded overlay, if they want to add something in the
Yes.
back, or the business have the colors, the brand. So there's an
Yeah.
aspect for that.
Yeah. So if you double click to go into the overlay editor, you can click on any actually, hold on, let me see. If you just click the plus sign
Hmm.
actually here, you can hit create new or import from files. So if you have overlays that are like saved to a clear PNG file, you already have like a file with like your name, your logo, and some text. You can import it directly also. So if you already have an overlay you want to use, you can import it into Camo and it will show up in one of these little thumbnails. But you can also just create one new from scratch, untitled, and from here you can add text, and it basically works as a
Hmm.
graphic designer. So
Nice.
that's not how I spell my name. Eden from Camo. I'm not really the best graphic designer, so I'm just going to show you guys that you can do different things.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I
um,
like that.
yeah, and this is a newly set up computer, so of course I have like, what is this? Oh, here we go. All right, I can add my cable, my picture in picture of some cables here.
Here we
I
go.
was like, yeah. So it's very customizable. So like this is a picture, but it could just be a logo.
Mm-hmm.
And if you go to any, I'm gonna put it here just for a little bit better visibility. But if you want to go over here to the right side of the editor, you can change the opacity and like make it look like a watermark, so it looks a lot more like subtle. You can rotate it, you can add borders, etc. You can change the image, change the positioning, resize it. It basically just functions as a graphic editor.
Hmm.
Yeah, I also we shapes also underrated is you can just add shapes and like change the color to your branding colors. I don't know ours off the top of my head by hex code, but it's like a deep purple.
Hmm.
And then let's see, there we go. Change the layer order. And hashtag not a graphic designer, so this is not a recommended name tag.
Yeah,
But
straight from the app. Yeah, that's
yeah,
good.
but
So,
yeah, we have the functionality. We can't design the graphics for you though yet.
but I like that aspect of it, and I need to add that all of this is coming from your desktop, and you're using your phone as the camera. Okay.
Yes,
Now the question, does it have to be PC or
or
what you
Mac.
call it, Apple or Mac,
That's a
or it doesn't
great
matter?
question. I'm glad that you asked. We are cross-platform, baby. You can use your iPhone with your Mac. You can use your
Hmm.
iPhone with Windows. You can use your Android phone with your Mac. You can eat any combination of phone and computer operating system. Camo works with all of it. Not Linux though.
Nice. Oh,
I just meant Mac and
not
Windows.
Linux. Yeah,
Not all of
Mac
them.
and
I just
PC.
meant yeah. I just
Mac
meant
and
Mac
PC.
and Windows actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So good. Because that's very important. I wanted to know because usually when I do all the demo, they always, oh, you the Mac guy. You only use Mac. No, you can use it and Mac, and you can use it with Windows, which is good. Now, do you have time to talk to us about the iPad version? Okay.
Yeah. All right. So this is the streaming studio from the iPad, and we're just going a little impromptu here because
Mhm.
I did not prepare this demo, but I'll just walk through some of the main capabilities. So this is what it looks like when you open it up, and all of the controls are going to be in this left-hand navigation menu. So when you open it up first, this first tab will be your primary video source. So usually it would be your main camera, which I'll switch my main camera to this right now. And we'll see, here I am back.
Mhm.
You can use any camera that is connected to your iPad or any of the iPad cameras. So I also have a capture card connected. And recently, with update to Camo for Camo Studio for iPad 1.2, we added mobile device support. So you can
Hmm.
also pair your phone with Camo Studio for iPad. So if I now switch to my phone and then switch to the selfie lens, which it was before, you'll see that this is the sort of scene that I had before. Sorry, I'm holding
Mhm.
up my hand right now, so it's a little
So
awkward.
the iPhone is coming wirelessly.
Yes, it's
Oh
wirelessly
man,
now paired to the
to
iPad to
iPad.
use as
Oh
a camera.
man. Oh
Yes.
man. Oh man. Okay.
I know. All right, well, I'm going to switch it back to my front camera just so it's
Hmm.
stable and I'm not giving you guys motion sickness. But the iPad cameras, I'm actually pretty impressed by them to begin with. But yeah, you can use any camera that you can connect to your iPad because the iPads, the newer ones are all USB-C. So you can also, I have mine hooked up to a Thunderbolt hub
Hmm.
and I have like a bunch of different things plugged in to the hub as well. But the main things are camera and mic or video game. So that is what I have it set up to demo for. But I'm just going to finish walking through the basic functionalities a little bit. So with your primary source settings, you'll see some of the same image enhancements that I talked through on the desktop product, which is
Hmm.
the portrait mode with the adjustable bokeh in the background. We have our filter gallery also. Um, these are like different LUTs that are preloaded.
Hmm.
You can also add your own. We have also a very cool feature called remove. So I have a lot of stuff in my background right now,
Yeah.
so it's not doing the best job. But if I had like a blank wall or a green screen behind me, this would be, it just removes my background. So it'd be like a really good like floating head. Like if I wanted to do a
Hmm.
screen share, I could just have like my little mini cutout floating on the top, which has been really popular, especially for game streamers. Yeah, our portrait mode, privacy mode, which is the full background blur, and replace mode is if you want to do a virtual background.
Hmm.
Yeah, so let's go back to normal for now. Um, Also, very awesome auto face tracking features. So I'm going to actually show you why you might want to use face tracking is when you have a little picture in picture view and your camera
Oh,
view is already
cool.
so small that it will
So
track you as
yeah.
you go.
Wow. And there's
Um,
nothing extra you need to do, add or upload.
No, yeah, this is all within the app. And the Camo Studio for iPad is also entirely free, by the way. Our desktop
Hold on,
product
hold on.
has
Did you say the word free? So you said
yes.
hold on. You said everything you're doing here on the iPad, it's
Yes.
actually free.
$0. Yeah, it
Oh
costs
man.
$0.
Okay, but do you have to have a Camo subscription for the mobile to use it? So anybody can basically download Camo Studio and then
That's
and
right.
start using it.
That's
Oh,
right. Yeah. Doesn't
you
need to
heard
be
it.
tied. Yeah, it doesn't need to be tied to the Camo mobile app or the desktop. It's completely entirely free. So if you have an iPad, especially one of the newer ones that are more powerful, and you're interested in streaming, download Camo Studio and give it a try because I'm about to show you some more cooler things that you can do.
I'm gonna. I got one of the newer iPod. You gotta give me homework now. I'm gonna. I'm,
Yes, yo.
I'm gonna have to demonstrate and be in my backyard and using my iPad because whenever I do a live stream like in nature,
Yeah.
I had to bring my laptop. I had to plug in everything. But if I can do that and I can place my iPhone as a camera coming wirelessly in different angle. Oh my god. Okay. I'll have to try it.
Please do. I can't wait for you to test it out. And that's actually the main thing that we wanted to do with the iPad streaming studio is just to offer creators a lot more flexibility.
Hmm.
Especially people that travel, just like you said about wanting to do content in nature, just
Hmm.
not having to bring the full computer setup, like just makes such a big difference. It's just so much lighter and so much more straightforward. But yeah, so that's their first video source. For the iPad, it allows you to add two camera sources. So here I have my Nintendo Switch also connected, and you'll see that it's now in the background a little bit.
Hmm.
So I'm going to set it up as like a game streaming scene. Let's see, picture in picture. Let's just double tap to take that to full screen in the
Hmm.
background. And then the layers tab is this fourth tab right here. So we have primary source, secondary source. So primary and secondary source are just your two camera source settings. Um, the third tab is audio, which is really just to let you know which audio source that you're using. And then this is the layers tab where you're going to want to be when you do any scene editing. So for primary video source, we have it at this rectangle right now, but we can also give it some rounded corners. And let me see, I want a circle. So I'm going to unlock the aspect ratio and make myself a circle. And you see, because I have auto tracking on, it's kept my face in the center the entire time. So you don't have to worry about moving out of frame as much. So if I'm doing a picture-in-picture scene for streaming video games, I probably just want like my face to look a little bit small in the
Man,
corner. There we
I
go.
can sit
Zoom out a
I can
little
sit
bit.
down in my backyard, connect my switch to this, and play
Yeah.
video game, right? Because you mentioned I can go straight to can I go straight to YouTube, and I think is that Twitch logo up there?
Yeah, it is. You can go straight to Twitch or you can go straight to YouTube. So we have, or any custom,
Co-
if you have the stream key, you
Yeah.
can also go stream custom. But we have integrations for YouTube, Twitch, Trovo. We've tested streaming with Twitter. I'm like James Hicks, never calling it X.
Hmm.
It's always going to be Twitter to me. um, and you can stream to Twitter using the custom RMTP server by adding this anywhere you can get a stream address, stream key, you can stream to. But yeah, we have built-in integrations for YouTube and Twitch. So if you want to sign into one of those, it'll take you to sign in. You sign in, and then you are able to
To go
directly
live
start
to it.
streaming. Yeah, you can
Wow.
stream or record. So yeah, you can record straight to your video library as well. You can manage your streaming destinations here, add more here. Yeah, that's where you'll find all of your settings. But yeah, so you can customize your scene, start streaming. Like I had this camo logo here, but I don't want to show it in this scene, so I can just hide it or just delete it. Or, I can delete my name. I don't need my name and my re-incubate on here. And
Mhm.
so this is the little quick picture-in-picture scene ready to go. And I also have another scene that I want to show you guys that
Mhm.
I already had set up that looked really nice because we have web overlays support that help that web overlays. You just plug a URL into this layers part, web layer,
Mhm.
and that's where this frame is coming from. This is a web overlay
So
from
you're
our
talking
friend.
about a place like what you call it, Stream Element?
Yes. So mine is from Stream Elements, but overlays.uno is one that I know Doc has shared
Hmm.
about, and
Oh,
Streamlabs.
the overlays will work
Yes.
there too.
Yes. Yes.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, so I'm apparently about to die in this Mario game because I did not know that this is where I was left off. But yeah, so I just got set up for stream. Yo, no, I just died. I clearly am not able to do a demo and play Mario at the
At the
same
same time.
time. but but hopefully that gives you a just a little bit of an idea of what it can do. I will also show off. I forgot to reset my stream panel, but
That's okay.
when this is configured correctly, it can show you like the stream chat, or you can edit it to show like the chat activity, or edit the information on your stream. It's like a Twitch integration that I really wish didn't say access denied right now,
Mm-hmm.
but I do a lot of testing and sometimes it breaks things. And
Yeah.
so that's why it says access denied at the moment. But if you're signed into the same Twitch account as you're signed into your stream panels, you'll see a lot cooler stuff over
Okay.
here. So
Well,
yeah, but that's sort of the quick demo short version of how to use Camo Studio for iPad as a streaming studio.
hmm. All right, guys, listen. Hey, now the rest you got to try it. Me personally, I'm going to try it, Eden, because I, you mentioned a part that I love so much. It says free. That part that,
Yeah.
but for real though. But I think there's a lot of stuff you can do with it, especially like if you're going somewhere and you're able to be mobile and you have good Wi-Fi connection, some of those iPad you can put internet on them too. So yeah,
Yeah.
imagine you have an iPad
Yeah.
who have internet, and like I'm gonna take my kids for example, who always play video games, and if they want to stream it,
Yeah.
it's just a matter of just stream it right there. So make it way, way, way easier for them. But I think your product is outstanding, and I think a lot of people in my community are gonna have more questions. And I promise you guys, for those of you who's on my Creole channel, who's probably watching this right now, I will explain everything to you in Creole. We'll go over it in Creole. I'll do demonstration for you in Creole. So don't worry, okay?
and
Don't
and and
worry.
and Johnny will report back any questions that you guys
Yes,
have about Camo, either the desktop or iPad product, to me, and then I'll come back on for a second appearance and we can chop it up some more.
definitely, definitely, definitely. Now, a lot of the people in my community also create content. They do videos, or they have what we call radio slash TV station. It's not like big radio station, but they have the studio, but they use the studio as a radio, may to give information or to do news type of style format, content format. And I think this is a very good app to use because you can use your phone without buying $1,000 camera or more. Okay, but your phone camera is actually better. So the difficulty, it's almost like you remove the difficulty. I love that aspect, and that brings us to unlock your creativity potential. So
Yeah.
if they,
Oh, wow. Beautiful. Oh, no
you
talk.
just because if the problem was equipment, how to overcome that fear, we talked about it. If it was about personal experience, we talked about it. Now I'll give you guys everything you need. We just give you guys everything you need to have a full package and to start create today. And if you start something, please don't be afraid. Tag me on it. I will love it. I will share. I will comment on them. So share with me, and if you need help, I'm here to help you. But but we come to the end of the show. I cannot keep Eden here for over an hour, guys. Okay, so we come to the end of the show, unfortunately, and I think we're gonna see you. My wife and I are gonna see you at Ecam camp. You
Creator
come
Camp.
in Creator
Yes,
Camp. So
yes, yes, yes.
we'll be there. We'll be there. We'll chop it up. We're planning to do some type of small little Creole production there. To yes,
That'll
definitely.
be fun. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh,
So
that's so cool.
yes, we're trying to see if we can find a little spot, maybe at the hotel or something, and to do
Yeah.
a little Creole production to talk about it. Last year, when I went last year, I showed the videos, but the complaints I had from my Creole panels, they was like, "Well, you just show us how much fun you have. You didn't bring us the information. You didn't stuff." So we're creating a little corner to provide this type of information and do a lot of vloggings. So you might be in a vlogging camera a lot because we're gonna talk
Yeah.
about everything with everybody because it's a great opportunity to network and meet so many different people and
Yeah.
to bring so much back to my community and let them know, hey, those things are there. So we're gonna bring more people to the platform, guys. Thank you for your patience. Eden, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for taking the time to share with us your experience, to share with us your app, and to demonstrate everything you did. So we appreciate it, and we look forward to have you again on the platform anytime, any day. So
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I was like, I feel like we covered a lot, just sort of like introductory style. So happy to jump in for a deeper dive next time on any of the topics that that whether your audience has questions about it, or if we just want to get deeper into some content creation stuff. I always love doing these. I
oh
love
yes.
collaboration content. I love talking to people on content more than I like doing my solo content. So just let me know whenever we're ready to run it back for round two.
Oh, no problem. I'll let you. You know I will. I'll definitely hit you. I say, hey, can we do round two? Let's talk about this, and that. But I appreciate it, Eden. The one thing we did not mention, I see that you guys have a Vision Pro aspect of Camo.
Yes.
I saw it online. I,
Yes.
I said I wasn't the one to put it out.
No, no, it's actually we already announced it. I was like, wait, we already announced it? I
I,
forgot.
I saw it. I saw it online. I saw it in YouTube. I was browsing and I saw it. Well, I follow you guys uh channel on
Yeah.
YouTube, and I'm like, is that the Vision Pro?
Yes.
And so I haven't seen any big demonstration about it, but you're not in trouble. They put it on the site, so they put it on YouTube. So
Nice.
that's
Yeah,
where,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. So that's where I
No, if
saw it.
you or anyone that you know has a Vision Pro, we would
Yeah.
love for you guys to take it for a test spin and give us feedback on it. One last thing I'll say is that
Mhm.
Camo, we read every piece of feedback. We read every review. We read every single comment that is left on our social media. So, like, honestly, your feedback, when I say you, I mean like
Mhm.
you, Johnny, like
Mhm.
content creators or anyone you recommend Camo to that ends up using it, like that feedback does make it into the product and it helps us decide what features to bring to you guys. So like I just want to like reiterate the point that we genuinely do love feedback and we do read all of it. So if you give Camo a try, whether it's on Vision Pro, iPad, or the computer, and you have thoughts about how it could be improved, we are at Reincubate. I'm Eden at Reincubate, at Reincubate on socials, and we would love to hear from you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Eden. All right, all right, all right, all right. Are you guys enjoying this? Are you guys enjoying this? So I hope you enjoyed this interview, guys. Listen, hey, that was a lot of information, and I'm telling you, if you have a business and you are not creating content for your business, listen, you are not going to be making the amount of money you want to make because you need to let people know about your business. Again, if you in the content creation side, this is a good app you can use. You can use that app. Matter of fact, it's free. Okay. When you download it on your phone, okay, it's free. Also, the one in the iPad is completely free. Now, I did see a couple questions, especially from my good friend Ralph. Ralph asked a lot of good questions. So, Ralph, one of the questions Ralph asked, it was, can you use this app on Windows? Yes, you can use it in Windows computer. And I believe she answered the question. I did ask her that question and she answered it. You can use it if you have a PC. It's no big deal whatsoever. Now, the second question that I saw over here that Ralph asked was a very good question. Okay. The question was like, can you use Camo to have guests on the screen? I don't think you can bring guests on the screen. So I will reach back to make sure. I will reach back to Eden to make sure I already sent her a couple messages on LinkedIn. So to see if you can do that. But I don't think you can do that. I think what you can do, you can bring your guest maybe in a separate computer or separate window and then add that window as a camera. Okay, that's probably the best way you probably be able to do that. Now, the other information for those of you who have a Vision Pro, I don't know how many of you guys have Vision Pro, they added to the Vision Pro format. I don't have a Vision Pro, so I would not be able to test it when we're talking about that aspect of it. But on the next week or so, I'm going to test it. I'm going to try it maybe on the phone and well, I tried on the phone already. You guys just didn't know. So sometimes when I have different angles, when I go to those, you remember the art festival that I went to, okay, it was put together by Axkisha LLC. It was I used Camo there. You just didn't know. And I used my phone as a second camera wirelessly, which was Camo, to come in from the back to capture the people coming from the back, so we can see them on the screen. So you just didn't know that I use it, but I do use it that way. Now the other aspect, I'm gonna use it trying my iPad. Okay. Now one question that I saw earlier, it was the question was like, can I use it on a window tablet? That part I'm not sure. So again, that one of the questions that I'm gonna have to reach back to Eden and say, hey, Eden, if I have a tablet like a Windows or PC, whatever it is, can I use it there? I don't know if you'll be able to use it. It is my understanding that it is like for iPad, the free version. But hey, listen, you never know. So I'll reach back and ask. Again, if you have questions about this, this is the perfect time to ask this question. Like I promised you guys, I'm going to bring a lot of people to the platform to talk about those kind of stuff. Okay, all community need this. All community need to know what's going on. Okay, and this is the reason why I reach out. I reach out to those connections. I reach out to those networking opportunities to have those people come over here and explain to you what's going on and how you can take advantage of the software that are out there, how you can take advantage of the other opportunity there's out there for you. Maybe create content for your business, maybe create content for somebody else, or maybe create your own business. So you're going to have a lot of different people coming to the platform to give you that information. So if you like this type of information, please don't hesitate to like it while you're here. Like the page. Okay. Don't forget to subscribe to it, share it with somebody. Okay, especially I always say share it with somebody you care about. Don't just share it. Share it to your friend, share it to your family member, share it about somebody you care about. Share it to that business owner that you really care about. Share it with somebody who do not know how they can put the business in front of the screen and make people talk about the business and bring customers to the business. Those type of informations are not readily available in our community. So I have a responsibility to bring this to you guys. I have a responsibility to bring this home so you guys can understand, okay, what different opportunity that you can take advantage of to help your business or to help you individually. Now, I have a lineup of people that I am inviting to come to the platform to give you those type of information. So it's going to take some time. So I appreciate your patience. Okay. And as I'm getting those people lined up and as I'm getting them to come to talk about the different apps they have, the different functionalities, the different opportunities that they have out there, I'm going to bring it to the platform for you to use. Okay. Again, for those of you who's watching me on Ouvri, those information are a lot of those people they speak English, they don't speak Creole, so we're going to have to do those type of live in English. We can do it in Creole. I'll do my best to translate it. We do have coffee with Johnny in the morning. If you have questions, you can ask questions about those type of information, and I'll be glad to answer those questions for you. But on those Thursday night when I bring those guests, again, they don't speak Creole. They would love to, okay, but unfortunately they don't. But they're gonna come to the platform and they're gonna give you this type of information, and you can use this type of information to help your business. Again, listen, the part I like about this app, it's free. It is absolutely free. You're welcome, Kyra. You're welcome. It is absolutely free. Okay. And you cannot beat this. You cannot beat this. Okay. So you can get a pro account if you're using, yeah, that was a good question on LinkedIn, I think. Okay. You can get a pro account if you're using your phone and you want a pro account, and you don't want to have the logo there. You don't have to have Camo logo there. You want to have your own logo there. Okay. You can use a pro account for that. Okay. But if you're using the iPad, and the iPad is free. So if you already have an iPad, you can actually download Camo Studio right on your iPad and you can use it. Okay, it's like a full production. So what I'm gonna do in the next week or so, I'm gonna create those little mini production. May it be playing video games, may it be like a content in the backyard, may it be a content in the park, trying to use it and put it to the extreme to see, hey, how can we take advantage of this app and make it work in our advantage. All right. So let's see who's here. Let's see who's here. All right. Wendy can say, Johnny, what is the name of the app? Please, I came a bit late. The name of the app is Camo. Let me see if I can share. I'm gonna share with you guys the YouTube, because you can actually go to YouTube and see all the information, all of the stuff they're doing. Let me find my share screen right here. Okay, so it's let me show you guys exactly. That way you can catch it right here on YouTube. Hold on a second. So let me share this with you, and that way you guys can catch it yourself. Okay, so let's see. Now, again, I always tell you guys, if you have a business and you're not creating content for your business, you are losing money. You are losing money. And the thing is, you think you have to pay somebody to create those content for you. You don't. You can create those content. This is a resource that you can use. Okay. Before you're like, oh man, I don't want to buy $1,000 camera. I don't want to do X, Y. And well, now you don't have to. You can use the phone you have in your hand. May it be an Android, may it be an Apple phone. You can use that phone you have in your hand to create that content that will serve you. Okay. Okay, here we go. So let's go back to the live mode right here. Okay, here you go. To answer your question, Wendy, this is the YouTube channel. It's called Camo. So if you go to YouTube, guys, and you go and you look for Camo, this is what it's gonna look. Camo at Reincubate. Okay, and you will find the different aspect on how to use that app. They create some type of tutoring stuff in there to teach you how to use it. Maybe on the phone or maybe on the iPad. Okay. But I'm going to create some stuff in Creole for you guys. So for those of you who's not fortunate enough as Wendy King, Wendy is very well versed and English is fine. But for those of you who's watching me on Ovary Barrier who's not well versed in English, I'm going to create some content in Creole with Camo. So I show you guys exactly how to use it. The same way I did when I was showing you guys how to use Ecamm. I think I did 3 episodes and different tutoring session how to use it. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing for Camo. I will show you exactly how you can use this app in your advantage. Okay, so it's very, very easy. It's not difficult at all, as you can see. Okay, if you were here a little bit earlier, you see exactly how you use it, and it's important. Now, the good thing I like about it too, and I have to add that you don't have to show your face on the camera. Okay, so you can create your second camera could be the product that you are showing. It could be just your hand, okay, showing the product that your business have, okay. You can use it that way too. So you don't have to specifically have a camera facing you. For those of you who have teenagers and young kids who's playing video games, and I always tell you, hey, if they're gonna spend hours of playing video games, they might as well stream it. Okay, so if you use the one on the iPad, you can actually stream it live to Twitch. Your kids know exactly what Twitch is, okay? And you can stream it to YouTube, okay? So she mentioned that they're working on X. So whenever they got the X available, I'm sure I will know about it. Then that way, I'll give you more information. But for now, you can use it on Twitch and you can use it on YouTube. And I think that's a good thing to have, especially when that app is free. You can also use it two cameras. So you can actually plug a maybe something like this. Let me show you guys, because she mentioned it's like basically a link. So, for example, a cam link, right? Like a cam link Elgato, you can use that and plug it to your tablet. Okay, when you plug it to your tablet, and then you can plug that to your computer, or not tablet, I should say iPad, and then plug that to your computer if you want your phone as a camera. Okay, or if you have a different camera that you want to connect via USB or something like that. So you'll have another aspect. But don't forget the camera on your iPad, you can use that as well. The front camera and the back camera. Okay. So I will create more content with that app. So you can have an idea what it is. Those content, if you're in my English channel, those content gonna be in Creole. So I will create those content in the Ovary Barrier channel, so you guys can see how I use it, okay, and how we can use it on our benefits. Now, before we finish for tonight, I want to say thank you to Askisha LLC for the sponsorship, okay, and for the partnership as well. I want to say thank you to Brillianti Media. As you can see this afternoon, you see the name tag of saying Brillianti Media. It's a full partnership that we have with Brillianti Media, and I'm happy to be part of them. So I want to tell them thank you so much for allowing us to provide you those type of content. Okay, and let's not forget Sons of Veterans Field Day LLC, okay, that we also partner with, was providing us the opportunity to bring you this type of content, this type of production that you appreciate so much, okay? And I want to take the opportunity as well to thank everybody who's a member on the Ovary Barrier channel, because this membership help us create a lot of opportunity for a lot of our brothers and sisters who did not have the chance to get those things. So thank you so much. So let me make sure I don't have any questions before I get out of here. Let me see. No questions, no questions. All right, all right. No problem, Ralph. Ralph, my brother. Ralph said, thank you, Johnny E. All right. Okay, Wendy, this is incredible stuff. Yes, it is, Wendy. It is. I mean, we are moving so fast. Okay. And there's so many stuff that you can use out there right now. It is incredible to be able to use your phone as a camera and plug into and just go to your desktop and set up everything you need. It's just amazing. It's just amazing in my opinion. Okay, it's just amazing. Oh my God, I almost missed it. My brother, Fulgence Henry. Hey, this is one of my mentors, man. Hey, Fulgence, thank you for being here. I don't know if you're still here, but thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you, my brother. All right, let me see. All right, when they say much appreciate. Okay, all right. All right, guys, thank you so much. This is the end of our live stream for tonight. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. We're working another program for you next week, and we'll bring it to you live again. Have a good night. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you.